you have been doubting yourself lately, know this. Self trust is not something that's lost forever, but you can gently rebuild it this dream life season. Let's get into it. Welcome to day 2 of the Dream Life season mini series. I'm so excited. I keep saying this over and over again. I am so excited to be doing this. All right. This is like my baby. Okay. Dream Life season is my baby. Helping y'all doing this thing together. It's huge. It is my passion. It's what I love. And I am so excited that I get to do this with you guys. Okay. So today we are going to talk about self trust. And that can be a topic that can be really hard because a lot of times we listen to what other people say. We learn that we don't know what we're supposed to know. And so then we start to try to listen to everybody who thinks they know better than we do. And that's just not cool. All right. So we're going to start today with some gratitude. All right. Somewhere in the course of the last day or two, there is something in your life that you followed through on. Okay, maybe it's doing a load of laundry from start to finish. Maybe it is doing dishes right after or cleaning up the dishes as you went with like cooking. Maybe it was doing something for a friend or a family member or calling somebody back. Maybe it was something as small as I told myself I was going to do this thing and then I did it. Big or small, what is one thing you are grateful to yourself in the last, you can go even the last week, okay? Because sometimes we just have days where we can't think of anything, right? But within the course of a week, we've done one thing from start to finish. We've, said we were going to do something and followed through on it. What is one thing you are grateful for that you can be proud of yourself that you followed through on? Type that in the comments below. All right, we are going to do some deep breathing. I want you to put a hand on your stomach and hand on your chest. And we're just going to breathe in slow for a count of 5. And then we're going to breathe out for a count of 7. All right. All right, let's try to keep that same breath, but I want you to just think, I am safe. I am present. I am safe. I am worthy. All right, let's shake it all out. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right, I'm going to talk about self trust today, guys. All right, so self trust comes from compassion, not pressure. Okay. And I think that's something that a lot of times we struggle with, especially neurodivergent people. We have a really hard time because we feel like we need to put more pressure on ourselves in order to kind of push ourselves to get things done. A lot of times we talk about like the setups for things, right? Like we need a little bit more pressure for ADHD to like get tasks done, right? But I'm telling you right now, there are things in life that are enough pressure as it is. You do not need to add additional pressure to yourself. All right. What you need is compassion. What you need is to remind yourself that there are things that you like. And I tell this to my kids all the time, right? There are things that you want to do, there are things that you have to do. And sometimes the things that you have to do, you don't want to do. Okay. So we bookend those things. We add something that we want to do before it and something that we want to do after it to make it a little bit more palatable. But at the end of the day, when we start like trying to pressure ourselves, well, everybody wants you to do this and you need to get better at that. And your business is never going to grow if you don't have the followers. And, everybody wants you to homeschool or everybody wants you to put the kids back in school. Like there's all of these little added things throughout our lives that we put more pressure on ourselves. And we think a lot of times when other people tell us, "Oh, well that's wrong. You shouldn't do that." What makes you the person who is a expert on my life and how I run things and what runs best for us? And I think that a lot of times we like people don't like the nuanced stuff, but nuanced is what we are. We can own nuanced and say, okay, I get where for you, for your family, for what you guys have going on and things like that, this is how you guys need to do things. For my family, I can listen to myself. I can kind of, I think after you do it for a while, when you're new in you kind of do like to hear other people's stories and try other people's type, kind of techniques and stuff. But if you've been in this for any sort of length of time, you already know some things work, some things don't. Some things will work sometimes, it won't work other times. And you know that, like, you're the best barometer on whether or not something's going to work. And so if you're in that mood where you're like, this is just not going to work, there's no point in trying it, listen to yourself. If you try something and it doesn't work, it's okay. Like we can fail forward, okay? And I hate like the term fail forward because I feel like a lot of times that gives us like this like, oh, I failed, like this like I don't know, it's like this traumatic response, right? Like we have this trigger to the word failed. And so really what I would suggest, this is just off the top of my head, right here, right now. I would suggest replacing the word failed with attempt. We're going to attempt forward. We attempted something, it didn't work. We're not failing because we're not giving up. We're going to continue and we're going to attempt forward. Attempt to do something. If it doesn't work, we try another thing. Trial and error, right? Trial forward, attempt forward, however you want to put that in your head. But that's the same thing, right? When people say you fail forward and people failed how many times, and that is the truth, right? They did something, it didn't work out. And so, like, I think people were trying to like make failure, that word, not scary, but for some of us, it just is. So now that I've said it 5 million times, I want to take a deep breath real fast. I'm attempting. I'm attempting things. I am trying new things. I will continue to try new things. So, where can you learn to trust yourself just a little bit more? What are some areas? And we all have those areas where we're like, man, like for I will give you my personal one right now. It's homeschool. I do a lot of unschooling. We do some regular schooling in there too, some regular work, but I do a lot more unschooling than I do regular schooling. And for a long time, I've had a lot of people saying like they're not learning anything. And like all of the sudden, there's so much evidence to the contrary. My kids are having their own, like, okay, I want to learn about this. And one child has documents on Google that are like stories that she's writing on her own, that she doesn't have to write. I'm not forcing her to write them. She's creating stories on her own. I have another child who's creating like full plans for like stuffies and costumes and has measurements and all that kind of stuff. They're learning in their own way what they're interested in. I fill in the gaps where it's age appropriate and they need to. And I absolutely love, like, absolutely love this idea of like, I knew what I was talking about. Like, I knew that they would learn, I knew that they would do this stuff, right? But I let other people, well, they're not doing this and they can't do that. And they can't, it's like, take a breath. I was talking to my kids today and I actually said something that was the wrong verb tense. And my kids corrected me on it and told me why. Hello, they learn, they know. All right. So, what are some ways that you can trust yourself more going into the next few days, into the new year? Drop one or two of them, whatever, in the comments, and let's kind of build that community around that, right? Compassion comes from ourselves, but then it also comes from finding the community within that can support you as well, right? When you find like minded people who understand what you're trying to do and understand the compassion that's needed, then you find that support network that can help you on those days when you're struggling with that. If you are at all looking for a support network, I want you to click down there, that link down there to the group. That is my High Vibe Tribe. We go in there, we do challenges, we're going to do all kinds of stuff for Dream Life season. I've got some homeschool stuff getting ready to drop for the first of the year, all kinds of fun stuff in there. Make sure you sign up for that, get involved. I am so excited. Guys, we have 3 more mini episodes left, and then we start Dream Life season, like the real thing. I'm so excited. I love y'all. I will talk to you guys later.